What's up, everyone? This week's episode is about staying motivated during quarantine, and if you're a student, I've done some research and I have some tips for you, so stay tuned.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
What's up, everyone? So, as you guys can see, I'm here by myself this week, and it's because it's midterm season. So, midterms are here, and life is getting a little stressful. So, I just kind of wanted to take this episode to have a conversation with you all about just staying motivated and how to be a good student while we're in quarantine. I feel like it's just been harder to be a student in a lot of different ways because, like, one, it's harder to talk to our friends, and that's really our support system, you know. Two, it's just really monotonous, like staying on the screen 24/7, like all of that. It's just very annoying. And like again with that, like, I feel like time just feels really stuck right now. And people have kind of adopted the mentality that, oh, I'm just gonna wait until quarantine's over to do X, Y, and Z. And I'm kind of here to tell you today to get rid of that mentality. Now is the time where we should be putting in even more work than before, because when we come out of quarantine, we want to know that we took this time to better ourselves and make sure that we're set for the future, you know? So with all that being said, I have like three kind of solid tips for you all on how to stay motivated, especially as a student. So the first tip, or kind of the first umbrella of tips I have for you, is getting yourself organized. So I kind of mean this in like two separate ways. So the first way is just organizing the space around you. It's kind of hard to stay focused when there's clutter or whatever, a mess around you. So making sure that your space is clean is just really vital to to accomplishing your goals. And with that said, I feel like one of the biggest things about quarantine that has been hard is that we're kind of mixing our relaxation space, which is our bedroom, with our workspace. And mixing these two things has been really hard because this is the space that you're supposed to, relax and enjoy your time in. And it's kind of been like infiltrated with schoolwork. So going off that tip of organizing your space, I kind of want to add in to invest in your room. Your room is really your sanctuary and your relaxation space. So you want to make sure that it's to your liking. You want to make sure that you can feel comfortable in your room and really relax and be productive when the time is right. But the second way, organize yourself, is make yourself a schedule. So I know it's kind of easy to go with the flow. I would say I don't even know my school schedule yet by heart, but it's in my calendar. So get a calendar app or get something that helps you stay organized. I feel like just being on a schedule helps me kind of prioritize my day and get things done. I know the hardest thing about school, or about just motivations in general, is actually taking that first step and doing the thing, whether that be like starting your essay or like applying for a job, whatever that is. I feel like the first step is really putting yourself out there, and I think being on a schedule really helps that process. With that being said, I would also say switch up your routine. So being on a schedule doesn't mean you have to do the same exact thing every single day. Spice it up, Life has gotten really monotonous in the way that we're doing the same thing every single day. So I would say switch up your routine, for example, like maybe one day do homework in the living room, or like go to a park, wear a mask, of course. But that's what I'm saying, like just switch up your environment, and I feel like it'll be so much easier just to be productive when you're switching up your scenes, So next, these next two tips under this umbrella of tips is kind of like tangible tips for you people out there who get distracted, and I'm definitely one of them too. So this first tip is a distraction list. So I don't know if you've heard of it before, but let's say, just to set the scene, you're doing your essay and you're really going in and your mind starts wandering, really take that time to reflect, like, what am I thinking about? Like, what's got me distracted? And write that down. and keep doing that throughout your process of whatever you're doing. So let's say you're writing the essay. Every time you get distracted, write down why that thing got you distracted. And after you're done writing your essay, come back to that list and you can reflect on those things that distracted you, you know? And I feel like that process of really being aware and being conscious of what's distracting you just helps you stay on task, because you can realize that, oh, this is distracting me. Okay, I'm going to come back to it later, but right now I'm focused on this essay. So this distraction list is really just useful to keep yourself on task. And then this next tip is for my procrastinators out there. So I'm definitely one of them as well. But at the end of the day, to keep it real, procrastination can really hurt you and hurt kind of your self-esteem of being a good student. If you keep procrastinating and you kind of don't either do the assignment or you do it half-assed and it's not done right, that can really hurt yourself and your kind of mental image of yourself. So I would say one tip about procrastination is be a productive procrastinator. So if you know it's inevitable that you're going to procrastinate, set some time aside for you to procrastinate. So this can sound confusing, but if you really break it down, it kind of makes sense. So you as a procrastinator, like, you know you're going to procrastinate. So if you kind of set this time aside for you to just procrastinate and do whatever you want, and then after this time is done, you're saying, okay, I'm done, and now I'm going to focus on my schoolwork, or now I'm going to focus on applying for this job, or whatever your motivation is, just setting that time aside to kind of get all that goofiness or all that procrastination out, and then focus on whatever goal you're working on will definitely help. So definitely try it out. So my second umbrella of tips for you is building a support system. So it can be really difficult to try and take on everything by yourself, and with that being said, it can be a lot on your mental health. So building that support system really just helps you stay grounded as a student and shows you that everyone's going through those struggles, you know, everyone's going through the same struggles with being a student, and it's stressful, but building that support system and talking to your friends, I think, will just help you be a better student overall. So my last umbrella of tips for you all is stop being so hard on yourself. And one way you can do this is just avoiding negative talk. So it can be really easy to talk negatively about yourself in whatever manner that might be, but hearing that consistently and constantly can just be really damaging on your own self-esteem. So one way to do this, or one way to avoid this, is stop talking negatively about yourself. I don't want to sound like a hippie or like whatever, but positive vibes always, I feel like, is the best way to go. Just being positive and staying really excited about yourself and like happy about yourself is just a really good way to change your overall mental state. Another way to stop being so hard on yourself is don't overinterpret failure. So a failure is really only a failure if you don't learn from your mistake. And that sounds like a cliche, but it's so true. Really learning from your mistakes kind of erases everything about a failure, because you didn't fail. You learned something from the experience and you moved on. So don't overinterpret failures. Everyone messes up in their life. Moving forward and kind of getting over that hurdle is honestly the best part of the entire experience. So don't overinterpret your failures. And the last tip, or the last kind of facet of this umbrella, is count your achievements. So you're here, you're watching this video, you're a college student, you're a worker, you know, and you're in this point of your life because you've done all the things in your past to get here. So don't discount all the good things that you've done in the past. Counting your achievements or hyping yourself up can be really hard because you don't want to be seen as cocky or whatever, but you've accomplished a lot of things in your life. So be happy about them and know that whatever hurdles or whatever barriers that you have coming up in the future, you can get over them because you got over all of those things in your past, you know? So stop being hard on yourself and know that no mountain is too big for you to climb. Nah, for real though. Yeah, stop being so hard on yourself and know that any challenge that's gonna come in the future, you can overcome it and you can do it. So those are kind of like my 3 tips for you to just stay motivated during this quarantine and be a better student. I hope that you guys all do good on your midterms. I know I've been a little stressed myself, but honestly, don't take it to heart. Don't stress too much. Know that everything's gonna work out in the end. That's kind of how I live my life, and I'm here now. So thank you all for watching Concise Conversation, and good luck on your midterms. Peace.